This here is from Deadline from December 4th, 2023. It's called Maiwenn and How the Red Sea Film Foundation Saved Jean DeBari and Why She Doesn't Want People to Think Her Collaboration with Johnny Depp Was a Nightmare, Red Sea Studio. Now, the thing is, people might think it's a nightmare because places like Deadline, Variety, People, Rolling Stone had all these reports that she was fighting with Johnny, they were arguing, things were going bad on set, maybe to make people think that maybe perhaps Disney had a point about Johnny being late or whatever. So now we get Deadline actually printing something that debunks that. And one thing's for sure, now Deadline's not being so negative about Johnny. Let's see what we got. Actress and filmmaker Maiwenn and her Jean DeBari co-star Johnny Depp were at the Red Sea Film Festival over the weekend with their period drama about a courtesan who rose to the top of Louis XV's court. Having debuted at Cannes, the film is a fitting entry for the Red Sea Film Festival, given that the Red Sea Film Foundation made a key contribution to the film's budget, as Maiwenn told us when she stopped by our festival studio. So, well, that's an understandable reason why Maiwenn especially and Johnny would go there, which they were with some other stars, Will Smith, Sharon Stone. I don't have a strong opinion on it. Seems like they're just doing what they do in the biz. And then they quote Maiwenn. They saved the film actually, the filmmaker said of the fund. When we made the film, there were a lot of challenges financially. We were missing millions. Our producer wasn't sure what to do, but one day he told me the movie is saved because of the Saudi investment from the Red Sea, so I'm very happy to be here to say thank you. Alright, think what you will about her going there. There's some various opinions out there. Not going to get into it, but this is understandable, I would say. Gathering the budget is just part of the challenge of any movie, as the filmmaker tested. Making a movie is about dealing with problems, she said. You have to fight to make it happen. It's never as you want it to be. They say another problem she faced was starring in the movie and also directing it. But I don't know much about that. I'm assuming not too many of you out there do either. So, okay, I'll take her word for it. I guess it was kind of challenging. Now, here we go. During the Cannes Film Festival, reports emerged of a supposedly tense collaboration between Maiwenn and megastar Johnny Depp. Maiwenn was keen to address media reports of a rift between the two. Okay, now let's think this out calm and logically, not just about, ooh, what happened? Where's the drama? On some days, it could be absolutely wonderful, she said of working with Depp, and on some days, it was complicated. I know the media have written stories about us not being in a good mood, which is a light way to put it, but alright. I don't want the media to think it was a nightmare. There were some days it was really great, and some days it wasn't so great. Johnny isn't an exception. Important key point. On all movies, there are challenges between cast and crew. Right. So it's not really about her and Johnny, it's just about when you're on set, there's going to be creative differences, your own opinion on how to do something, how to act, where to move, whatever. I don't think it was like this bad air about which Starbucks flavor they should get for the afternoon or whatever, as far as vanilla or cinnamon or not. It was probably artistic arguments about important things, about the movie, how it should come out right. And in the end, I guess the arguments were working towards a single goal of making the movie good, or at least coming to the best compromise. Not this nasty fighting that they hate each other and oh my god, now Maiwenn's working with Johnny and he's this bad guy supposedly and now we showed you. That's just not realistic. And that's what the media would want you to believe. Well, what they did want you to believe. It's kind of funny how she says she doesn't want them to think something when what they do is tell you what to think based on what they wrote and their narrative. We all spent so much time together and the pressure's very high. It's inevitable there will be tension. Johnny can be adorable and also hard. I'm the same way. I've had issues with the crew, partly because it's so hard to make movies now. Since the pandemic, budgets are harder to come by, the pressure's high, and we don't have time to think on set. And when you don't think, a lot of times you make bad decisions and arguments happen. Off topic for 1 second. I study some, let's just say, self-improvement stuff, ways to make good habits, and one piece of advice was people make decisions too fast. And I noticed that. I make a decision in my life, someone calls me, they're like, should we do this? I'm like, oh, I'm worried. Okay, let's do this without thinking. What you should do is be like, hold on, I'll get right back to you. Click, think about it, and then make the decision. But people don't. They're offered something and they decide real quick. It's a problem, and that probably happens on set with the crew. Maybe even Johnny and Maiwenn do it themselves. They reflect, they go back, and they get the work done, like they obviously did, and the film came out good. That's my 2 little cents. Here's a pic of the two. She says they might work together if the project is right, something like that. I think she'd work with him probably no matter what the project was, but that's my opinion once again. But I'd stand by that. So, yeah, in short, the answer is yes, probably. By the way, they reveal something here I didn't realize. Comments on Deadline Hollywood are monitored. So don't go off topic, don't impersonate anyone, and don't get your facts wrong. Well, who decides if the facts are wrong? So out of all the millions of people who can comment, only Deadline knows what the facts are? Seems a little silly to me. That might be why when you see these comments about, well, we should overlook that one actress in Aquaman 2 and see the movie, maybe because comments in certain places are monitored. Just something I was thinking along the way. Anyway, what Maiwenn said made a lot of sense to me. At first, you hear it and you think about it with like horse blinders on. She's fighting with Johnny. What's it about? Well, it's more of a wide scope. Cast and crews have difficulties, arguments, debates about things. It doesn't mean they hate each other, or it doesn't say anything about their past, especially. Let me know what you think in the comments. By the way, if you'd like to donate to the channel, keep things running smoothly, you could donate by this thanks button. It's kind of like a super chat in the comments. You will get a shout out for it. And by the way, every YouTuber has one who's got it active, not just this channel, of course. So if you see someone else you want to support, Tug, Come Geek Some, whatever, support them too. And if you're not subscribed here, consider it. If you don't, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.